Welcome to the course Animal Diversity 1 Biology of Non-Chordates. Myself, Dr. Sneha, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women, Vishakhapatnam. So, as a part of this module, we're talking about unit number 4, topic number 4.3, which is Structure and Affinities of Peripatus. And the content includes we're going to first of all discuss about what are connecting link species and their importance with examples. Then we're going to discuss the connecting link species with reference to Peripatus, its structure, and as well as the affinities of Peripatus. The learning outcomes of this topic, you can able to describe the external and internal structure of Peripatus. You can able to identify what are the annelidan and arthropodan features present in Peripatus. You can able to compare and analyze the affinities of Peripatus with Annelida and Arthropoda, and you can able to explain the evolutionary significance of Peripatus as a connecting link species. So let's start with discussing what are connecting link species. Connecting link species are the type of organisms that exhibit the following characters, such as they're going to share the characters of two different groups or the phyla, and they're going to act as a bridge in evolutionary terms between that particular groups or the phyla, and they even provide the evidence for evolutionary transitions. And what are the key features of such type of connecting link species? As they're going to show mixed or intermediate traits of the two taxa or the two phyla, and they represent evolutionary transition stages, and they can even help in understanding the phylogenetic relationship studies among those the two different phylums, and this type of connecting links, they might be extincted and they can available as a fossilized form, and or it might be as a living forms also. And the examples for such type of connecting link species which are present very commonly discussed. Example, Peripatus, which belongs to that invertebrate category, which acts as a connecting link between the phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda. So moving to next example, that is what Archaeopteryx, which is belongs to the category of vertebrates, where this is acting as a connecting link between the class Reptilia and class Apes. Likewise, one more example, that is what lungfishes, which belongs to the category of Dipnoi, and they're going to act as a connecting link between the class Pisces and as well as the class Amphibia. So, what is the significance of this type of connecting link species? As they are basically the evidences for evolution, which actually supports the theory of evolution by showing the transitional forms. And by studying such type of connecting link species, we can able to understand the ancestry, and even we can trace the origin and divergence of species, how they are evolved one phylum after another phylum. And even they act as phylogenetic links, and they can clarify the relationships between major groups, and they are even act as a very important fossil records, which actually strengthens the fossil based evolutionary studies. So this is about the connecting link species. So now we are talking about here as a part of connecting link species, especially we are focusing on studying the structure and as well as affinities of Peripatus. So let's start with the structure of Peripatus. So Peripatus belongs to phylum Onychophora, which are very commonly known as velvet worms because of their velvety-like texture. The skin actually looks like that, and these are considered as a connecting link between the phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda. And this type of velvet worms or the Peripatus found in moist humid type of terrestrial habitats, basically like under the logs, the rocks or crevices, or under the leaf litter, etc. So let's start with external structure. So it's peripatus, the body surface, the features actually. The body is elongated, worm-like, cylindrical, and very soft. That is why they are known as velvet worms. So the size ranges between 2 to 15 centimeters, depending upon species to species. And the body covers with very thin and highly flexible cuticle, which is actually not at all rigid. Because of that only we can able to observe that foldings on the skin of the peripatus. So coming to segmentation, body shows actually metameric type of segmentation, but the body segmented or segmentation can be observed internally. The body is not externally distinct like formation of the segments externally, but internally we can able to observe the segmentation. And there is no clear tagmatization, means there is no clear cut head, abdomen and thorax are not distinctly are not like they're not clear cutly divisible into head, thorax or abdomen. So this is how the peripatus is going to look like, which is known as velvet worm. See here, that's what I'm talking about. Head, thorax and abdomen, they are completely fused with each other, right? uh, So let's talk about appendages. The body is going to have numerous unjointed legs, which are called as lobopods, where depending upon the species, these legs, which are known as lobopods, they might range between from 15 to 43 pairs. And each leg, if you're going to see here also see, right, it is ending with a very sharp tiny claws are present all on all lobopods. We can able to observe the presence of the claws. So coming to head region, so in the head region, we can able to observe a clear cutly the one pair of antennas are present, right? And as well as we can able to observe a simple eyes, which are known as ocelli, exactly near the like underneath the antenna. And even the mouth is surrounded by the jaws. The jaws because they're going to help in grasping and as well as biting the prey. Facial structures which are present on externally on peripatus, like the oral papillae. Clearly see underneath these jaws, actually we can able to observe a very long the finger-like projections what are coming outside here. Those are oral papillae. A pair of oral papillae are present. So what is the main function of these oral papillae is they're going to secrete a sticky slimy like solution basically, which actually helps in for capturing the prey. Okay, and as well as even they're going to have a highly like unique type of slime glands which are present underneath this oral papillae only, and they're going to secrete that slimy like secretion. Because of that only the peripatus are little bit they are like slippery in nature whenever we wants to touch them. Because of the slime gland, the entire the skin is actually covered by the slimy like secretion, which also acts like something like providing the protection. So where the peripatus can very easily skip from the predators. Coming to internal structure of peripatus, starting with body wall. The body wall of peripatus is basically contains cuticle, followed by epidermis, followed by a very thick layer of muscle layers, which are made by circular muscles and as well as longitudinal muscles. So this type of the muscle arrangement we can clearly see in the phylum Annelida. Coming to coelom, so in this phylum or in peripatus, the true coelom is present, but it is very highly reduced because again the body cavity is actually filled with blood, which is known as hemocoel. Coming to digestive system, that digestive system is actually complete because it starts with mouth, followed by pharynx, esophagus, intestine, and ends with anus. So that is why they're going to have that complete type of digestive system. And this peripatus is completely carnivorous in nature, which actually feeds on the small insects what are available. And the type of respiratory system they are having is tracheal system, which actually resembles again with the phylum Arthropods, especially insects. Actually, they're going to have this type of tracheal system for respiration purpose. And the spiracles, which are actually part of tracheal system. So in Peripatus also, they're going to have numerous spiracles which are actually scattered all over the body. The circulatory system is actually open type, where the body cavity is filled with blood. The blood is not going to circulate inside the arteries or veins. Simply it is going to, the arteries and veins are completely absent or lacking. So that's why the body cavity is also known as hemocoel. And the type of heart which is present in Peripatus is tubular in structure with ostia present. And as I said, blood actually flows in the hemocoel. Coming to excretory system, so the type of excretory organs which are present in Peripatus is nephridia. So this is type of the same excretory organs even present in phylum Annelida, like which are segmentally arranged one after one. In each segment, a pair of nephridia are present. Coming to nervous system, the brain is present, and as well as presence of a double ventral nerve cord is present, and the nervous system is actually looks like a ladder like, which exactly resembles with phylum Annelida. Reproductive system, sexes are completely separate. The male is different, female is different, and they're going to exhibit the internal type of fertilization. Most of the Peripatus species are viviparous, but still we can able to observe some oviparous type of species are also existing in Onychophora. So this is about the structure of Peripatus. So now affinities of Peripatus. So here we are comparing the similarities between the phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda, because this Onychophora, the Peripatus species, actually the Onychophora phylum acts as a connecting link or connecting bridge between phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda. So that's why the Onychophoran like species, that the Onychophora phylum species, that is what Peripatus, they going to have a few similarities with previous phylum, that is what phylum Annelida, and next phylum comes into picture, that is what phylum Arthropoda. So let's start with affinities with Annelida. So in this table, comparative table, we can clearly able to observe like what are the features are actually same with phylum Annelida and between Peripatus. So start with body form. In both Annelida and as well as Peripatus, body form, if we're going to observe, they both are going to look like worm-like, and they are very elongated, the body. And coming to segmentation, in both Annelida and as well as Peripatus, they're going to exhibit metamerism. Though in Peripatus it is internally seen, but it is present, right? And coming to locomotion, so both Annelida and Peripatus, as they are having a very well developed muscle layers, that is what, which is both circular and as well as longitudinal muscle layers. So they're going to use mostly move with the help of the body muscles. Coming to excretion, so in both Annelida and as well as Peripatus, they're going to have nephridia, which actually acts as a excretory organs here. And the nervous system actually also same, because in Annelida and as well as in Peripatus also, both they're going to have that ladder-like excretory system. Coming to affinities or similarities with the phylum Arthropoda, so starting with external body covering, so that is what cuticle which is actually present in arthropods as an external exoskeleton. So even in the Peripatus also, though the cuticle is not that much thick, but it is a thin chitinous, the layer is actually present. The cuticle is basically chitinous in nature, right? And as well as coming to appendages, both arthropods and as well as Peripatus, they're going to have paired legs. And coming to respiration, the respiration occurs in both arthropods and as well as peripatus with the help of tracheal system. That is what one more similarity, presence of trachea and as well as spiracles in both arthropoda and as well as peripatus. Circulatory system is also open type in both arthropods and as well as peripatus, where they're going to have that body cavity, hemocoel actually. And the last thing is about the presence of the jaws. In arthropods also, they're going to exhibit a very diverse range of mouth parts, like it might be biting, sucking, siphoning type of mouth parts. So exactly, even the peripatus also, because of its carnivorous nature, they're going to have that a very well developed jaws are actually present. So that is what one more similarity between phylum Arthropoda and as well as the Peripatus. So coming to third category, till now we have talked about affinities with the phylum Annelida followed by the phylum Arthropoda. So now coming to some that type of features which are actually unique for this phylum Onychophora only, where like as following see, like in phylum Onychophora, in Peripatus species, they don't have they have unjointed legs. The legs are not jointed, but instead of that they're going to have unjointed type of legs. And slime glands are actually present for capturing the prey. So because of that they can secrete that sticky slimy like nature, and with the help of that they can capture the prey. And so in Peripatus, even they don't have exoskeleton like arthropods. Like see, we have discussed, they have a very thin layer of that cuticle which is made by chitinous, and the chitin is also basically highly flexible. So this is also one more unique feature especially to this phylum Onychophora. And coelom is also highly reduced. So these are the some unique features which are actually seen in the phylum Onychophora and in Peripatus species. So coming to evolutionary significance of this Peripatus, so it acts as a connecting link between phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda, and it definitely shows the primitive arthropodon features like as we have discussed that. And even so by studying this Peripatus or phylum Onychophora, it actually provides that information like related to evolution of arthropods, that it is indication like the arthropods are actually came from the previous phylum Annelida like ancestors. That is what we can prove, and that is what the significance of this type of connecting link species. So as a whole summary, as a part of this topic, structure and affinities of Peripatus, we have studied that their body is soft, elongated body with presence of that unjointed legs, which are known as lobopods, and antenna and simple eyes are actually present on their head part. And Peripatus actually shows the mixed features of both phylum Annelida, such as presence of nephridia, ladder-like the nervous system. On the other hand, with phylum Arthropoda, that is what presence of the tracheal system and as well as open type of circulatory system. So that is how they can sharing the both the features or the characters of phylum Annelida and phylum Arthropoda. So that is why it is acting as a connecting link, and which actually shows the evolutionary transition between the Annelida and as well as the Arthropoda. This is what the reference is cited for this topic. Thank you for listening the class.